Okay, my dear sisters and brothers, or rather I should say you, souls, but I had called you brothers and sisters due to the reason that you are now today in the mood of going. I think everybody has packed up their cars, something like that after the satsang they will be given prasad and they will be going. And therefore you have packed up everything. From yesterday or from day before yesterday also, you are feeling like winding up the things. That you are not to leave anything behind which you need, you may not miss, and where you are to go, all arrangements are there with you, how to go, where to go, and that you may feel comfortable over there. This is, my dear, what is required. That physically in this world, we have planning of whole of the life, of the physical body. It may remain with us for 1 day or 2 days or 10 days or 100 years or 200 years. It has to be no more after some time. But we are having life eternal, and for that we have not prepared ourselves. And this life of the human body is only meant for this purpose, that, my dear, you are to realize yourself, and you are to know what you are and what you need and where you will be comfortable. This misunderstanding that we are bodies and our body is only important, we are nothing else than body. This misunderstanding, generally we see that the people are dying and the people behind which are of the family members, they generally say that he has gone. And this is the dead body of the person. He has gone. And that person who is dying also says, please forgive any of my sins or hard or bad actions to you, and I am going, I am leaving. This truth appears for some time only, not for a long time. And again it is covered up that this has died and that we are bodies, we are not souls, and that we are to live forever over here, we are now to die. Even if there is sometimes some idea that we are to die, we just neglect it. It is not nothing, it is not a good idea. Leave it. Think only of life, of living only. Don't think of death. But this idea which we had made in ourselves, that can be only for our consolation, but it will not happen. It will happen what is to happen. And if we do not understand it, realize it, and arrange accordingly, at some time we will be in trouble. Death is not something hard. It is really our best friend. That when we are in some kind of tragedy, problems and suffering, that we are in incurable state, there is no remedy for it, then we will like to kill ourselves. And at the end of our age, in the old age, all the old people do not feel like living. They are in such a tragic condition. Everything in this world they feel it is very hard, very hard, very hard. Because everything has gone so weak in the body, that body itself is saying, I cannot live anymore. It is impossible for me. I cannot open the eyes. I cannot move my hand. I cannot get up from my bed. I cannot digest anything. I have lost my teeth. I lost my hearing power. I lost my eyesight. And I am having so much disease. I cannot live. And then our friend comes and ends our suffering. Everybody waits for that friend because there is no other remedy, there is no other alternative where we may hope. Death is the only hope. The old person who is diseased also asks for this gift from God. And those people who are attending that person and are responsible for that person also pray to God, my dear, we cannot see this suffering person and we also cannot bear any more or what we have been suffering due to him or her. And that now please release us of this great trouble and that this person may be released and we may also get released. This is a prayer of all the persons. That what they ask for, something or some body which is there to help us. And there is no help anywhere. This is the helping factor. So death is not something which has been created by God, that it is something dangerous for us. Everything God has created for us is useful. But we have not been able to use the understanding which has been given to us by God. And we are misguided by misguiding agencies. And that I had been shouting, crying upon you, please, please, please understand, please understand, please understand what is there that you are and what you can do, what is in your favor, and come out of this darkness of ignorance and shine in light of knowledge and wisdom, where everything is crystal clear. What is happening, what will happen, what are the causes, what are the agencies which are working in the system, and how you can control them, and how you can get rid of every kind of problem, and you can solve everything which is the world is suffering for that, and you are only free and to enjoy that life which you are to find after death, that you have to find over here. That one dies, what happens? One leaves the physical body, and that person is called then dead. And what happens to that person, where it goes, that person who dies doesn't have to know. And those people who are left behind also do not know. And the people are having some different kinds of phenomena. Some say there is nothing after death. Some say there is no health. There is only wonderful existence over there. Some say that we have got our karmas, and according to our karmas, then we have to bear the consequences for good or bad karmas. And some spiritual people say that there is no reincarnation because we are not to be incarnated again, because what about the purpose of our incarnation, that has been solved, that has gone away. The simple phenomena is there that as long as the child is not back home, it will be wandering somewhere. At some place, at other place, 1 day or 2 days or 3 days or 1 week or 2 weeks, here and there, here and there, here and there. No place is there which can accommodate that person, which belong to him. Anywhere he goes, any person, any family may take that child in sympathy for 1 day or 2 days. But it will not also be suitable for him, and they will also not be able to keep that child for more time. And he will have to go to other place. This is the transmigration system. That we have been given one body, and that body deteriorates and is not able to keep us, and then we have to shift to the other one. That new one body is coming to us, we enjoy it or we avail it, and after some time it is also gone, wreck, gone useless. It is also not able to keep us, then we have to shift it further. that bodies are given to us, they remain for some time with us, and then they are deteriorated and totally out of order, and then where we are to live? Then that's some new place. That is the transmigration of all those, and for those who have not found their eternal home, where they are to be adjusted permanently. That home is permanent, eternal, and we are also as soul eternal, and we belong to that place where we are befitted properly, and that place will also keep us forever, and we will also be fitted over there and be nicely accommodated. We will not feel any difficulty or problem of shifting that place. We will enjoy it. And that solves the problem of transmigration. But for those people who have not found the home, this process will continue. So there is another problem if there is transmigration of soul, of it is no transmigration. This is the theory which is underlying it. And that the death which we are calling, that is a natural phenomena. If birth of child is phenomena, it is to occur. It is not something to be sad about it. If we are grown up, it is not also something sad phenomena in any way. We have to go along. If we are sometimes diseased, then it is a warning to us that you are somewhere wrong. Something is not in proper order, and that you should try to make the things in proper order. And that is very good, that if you are missing the sun is not there, then you are feeling hard, because the sun is there very much important in your life. If you have not sun, you will not be able to live. So absence of sun is already warning you that you need sun permanently. In the same way, if there are some problems and difficulties and sufferings, it gives us a warning. There is something missing in you, that you are suffering. Even feeling of hunger, feeling of thirst, or feeling of hot or cold, or anything which we are feeling little disturbing in us, that is always there, continuously, that we are having some problem, more or less, and that gives us a warning that you are not adjusted at the proper place, where you need to be adjusted, and where there you will not find any difficulty and problems. And that your life is not a agency that you are to go on with problems, as is this human body life. May it be another species of life that is unavoidable. There is not arrangement for them. But for the human being, this anxiety is also there, that we are to find a perfect life, and that God has also arranged that when we are suffering, then only we will come to know that we need something else which is not now with us. Let it be that if their child has gone outside somewhere and is playing with playmates and is going over there, and then there is some fighting between the playmates, or he is feeling hungry or he is feeling thirsty, then he comes back home crying and shouting in some kind of pains or sufferings, and then the parents take care of him, and he is satisfied, and they say, don't go to those naughty children, and they are not for you, they are only your playmates, they have no sympathy and love for you, no responsibility for you. You should understand it. The child also begins to understand little that what I had thought that these playmates are very nice, very wonderful, I will enjoy with them. This was some misunderstanding in me. I tried to enjoy with them, and for some time I enjoyed also, but it was not really possible. I had suffered so hard from them. Now I have also bitter experience of my fault, of my understanding, and now I should try to understand it. But you see that some children still again go back to their playmates and again neglect the parents, and then they are again suffering. Because where there is permanent arrangement of the child for to enjoy no suffering, everything is sympathetic and loving, and all arrangements are there, he forgets that source and he goes somewhere else. This is also our case. We also suffer sometimes, and we are having so many problems. But still we do not feel that there is agency where we are to enjoy, there is no suffering at all. And this world is there, it's only of sufferings. This information is all, nobody in this world can say that I have never heard such information. God has arranged that this information has to be known to everybody, and was made possible. And now it is our outlook, how we have responded to this most urgent, most important information. And that in this way, these sufferings or problems which come to us, these are only due to the reason that we are not on the way of life, adjusted somewhere where we are not to suffer. And these sufferings and problems tell us, please now take care that if you go along in the same way as you had been there will be again sufferings. There again are unbearable circumstances for you, and you will go on crying and suffering. Change your way. Don't stay at that place where you are suffering. Try to find some other place which is reserved for you and is also told to you that you will not suffer. And in the end, when we are dying, that is a wonderful occasion that we are now rid of this body which is source of suffering. You see, all these sufferings come to our body, to us. Hunger, thirst, heat or cold, or any disease, any problem, any needs, all these millions of things which are there in the markets. Markets are full of all these substances. They are only to satisfy the body. And still our body is not feeling satisfied, and we feel there is something missing which we need, but it is not available. As the doctors are there, so many doctors are there, so many medicines are there, so many pathies are there, but at some time we find there is no doctor for us, there is no medicine for us, there is no pathy for us, and we are now to die. Nothing is working upon us. Everything is nothingness for us. That we have to understand at some time. And all people go through such systems that any worldly arrangement in which we are living at this time, at some time totally show their hands. No more. We are nothing. We cannot help you. Then where is the help? Where we should go? Are we totally in hopeless condition? We are in hopeless condition because we are depending upon this arrangement of this world, and we have not tapped into that apartment where it's full for everything for us, and we cannot be disappointed at any moment. Always everything wonderful, everything available at hand. Nothing to ask for, nothing to wait for, it is ready at hand. And that we have to understand it. And that when we leave the physical body, it means we are leaving all this agency which is of sufferings. But then there are other bodies, astral bodies, which are also having such similar kind of sufferings for us. And we have to vacate that house, causal plane, causal body, supercausal body, because all bodies of different kinds have their different kinds of sufferings. And that when we are totally out of every kind of covering, then we are in our own self. Our own self is really like our own self. Wonderful self, you can say, God self, you can say. All what is totally wonderful, totally wonderful. Nothing else is there. If you go to sun, only you will find light and heat. Light and light, light and light. Never you will dream or never you will think of any kind of darkness over there. In the same way, outside it is all darkness, but inside, as your soul, you will be all perfect life. Perfect life. And that is the solution of the problem. Now this death is there that we are to learn to die. Forsake the flesh, for the spirit, learn to die so that you may begin to live. This is also the theory of the life of the human being, that we are to learn to die so that we may begin to live. This we have not understood, that what this death is there, what kind of death, which we have to go through first, and then we will find life. That will not be found if you go through the physical death as the people die at the last moment, that we will find life. That death will take us into some kind of other system, very, very more horrible, more horrible. And that is not suitable for us. Because we have not learned to die. That process which is there to die, that we have not found. And this death which is there, that is taken to some another death. We are taken out of one grave and put into another grave. We are taken out of one prison house and put into another prison house. It may be more hard, it is more horrible. It will not end of this process of suffering. And that this death is, we can say, it is not really our friendly and it is not acceptable. But we have to learn to die so that we may begin to live. And that we may live for eternity over there. That you have to learn over here in this physical body, but that will not take you to the grave. This is already the grave which we have got. We have to learn to come out of this grave. As at the final state at which called death, we only come out of the physical body. And our other bodies are, they are astral body, causal body, other bodies which are under the control of negative power, and we are still going on controlled by negative power. And negative power is only death system. It is a cruel system which is ruling with sufferings. Then which kind of death we are to go through? That only we are not to go out of the physical body. We are also to go out of the astral body, and also we are to neglect or come out of the causal body. And after that, we can little heave a sigh of relief because we are out of the ruling of the evil. We are only sufferings are pushed upon us. But still, there is a approach of negative power, although negative power becomes in minority and God power in majority. But still, if you can say that now I am safe, it is not safe. Because 40% negative power is still there, and that you will have to go on suffering with that. So you have to then come out of all those other coverings in which negative power is there to act in some way, and we have to reach the region where there is total 100% our own self. There is no any kind of other intermingling thing which can disturb us, because only in ourselves we can enjoy ourselves. If there is something little adulteration, that will act in some other way, in some different way. It will not be of our nature. It will not be befitting us. It will be something opposite to us. And we will have to suffer due to that. Little adulteration, may it be 1% even. that 1% will also be cause of problem for us. We are to be totally free of any kind of adulteration. And there is the life, and that can be called life. And that is there we are to learn to live in this world. And when we have gone through this process of finding life, and we have now started living this life, then there is no death for you. Because that process which was to be gone through at the time of this final death, coming out of the physical body, you have gone through already. That at will, you sit down, close your eyes, and you are up. You are not in the physical body. You are out of the causal and supercausal and other bodies also. And you are finding all those celestial musics of the third region, the fourth region, fifth region. And you are finding the moon of the third region, or God, or Master, which are of the highest fifth plane. And you even go up to eighth region, and there you are all pervading and permanent, the pervading over there for eternity. And that is your attainment of the life which you will attain over here while living in this world. And then the problem is solved. In this world, there is no problem for you. Still, there is some responsibility for you. That for your physical body, astral body, causal body, other bodies which are adjusted to you, still you will have to maintain these. You have to take care of those, because these are connected to you. Intertwined. It is like intertwined. You are not safe. Sometimes you can withdraw from them, but then they will cry out. As the mother is sleeping, child is sleeping, mother is enjoying, child is enjoying, and sometimes child begins to cry. And mother has to take care of the child. Because there is a responsibility of the mother to the child. It cannot sleep, it cannot take rest independently. But when child is grown up, can take care of itself, then she can sleep and can enjoy independently. This is the way that when we are living in this physical body, we get rid of our all these holding agencies. But still our responsibility remains for them, and we cannot neglect them. And therefore this is a problem which we have to go through, and some sufferings are also there that we have to go through. No doubt, we are very much in release that if you are 90% in higher up and 10% you are in the body, then something of the body will go on hurting you. It may be 10%, otherwise it would have been 100%. And really you would have been in trouble, in problems. And now you are connected also 90% to your enjoyable self. And that enjoyment will be available to you. And then this 10% of the difficulty and problem creating agency will not be so much hurting you. Life will become much more easier and more comfortable even outside. Because the physical body would have suffered so much, too much. It has also been given some relief from the above. And that what was really unbearable, now it can go on easily. So our life also is much more released, and the physical body life is also much more helped. We are permanent in ourselves, we are perfect in ourselves, but body is not changed. Body is going through the same condition as per connection with the physical world, heat or cold or diseases and problems also, hunger and thirst also. But it will not be so much feeling hard, because when it was alone, no help was there. That was to only suffer according to the situation as it was. No help at all. 100% was in suffering situation to suffer. But when inside some help is available, then it is getting more and more relieved. So this is the great, wonderful result of our spiritual lifestyle, that while living in this world, we will be safe, much more safe. As much safe that never we feel unbearable its pains or sufferings or worries or hopelessness case. We will be going through some kind of bearable, easily bearable, and going on smoothly and comfortably. But what is we are enjoying inside, that will not be enjoyable here in this world when we are in the physical body. That will only be enjoyable, we will enjoy when we are in our own self, which are our own self. And that we will still be feeling, no, I cannot accept this world, I cannot accept this body. I have to live that life which is really so much enjoyable. This is no more for me. In this way you will become automatically renunciate from this body and this world, and you will not feel indebted in anything. Nothing is there which you depend upon, which you have to clutch, which you need over here. You know that I can be better safe from this place and neglect everything, leave everything over here. I have over there wonderful and wonderful and wonderful. You will not find attraction to anything of this world. And you will live upon your inner arrangements and will supply body and other bodies connected to your body from your own higher self, which are there, limitless supply centers, and that you will be no more in trouble, no more in scarcity of anything, but you will be able to supply everything, every comfort, every peace to all your lower self and also around you. This life you are to find in this life, in this physical body. And that masters have told that this problem of death you are to solve here. That you are not to receive death as stranger or as something which is horrible for you. It is really bringing some horror for you. And that because it is stronger than you, it is created by some kind of negative power, opposite power to you, which is too much strong and too much cruel to you in its own behavior, then it becomes really hardest situation in the life of the man. Death is there like that. And you find like this, anywhere you go where some person is dying, such a sad, such a unbearable atmosphere is there, that it is all death-like system going on. And we try to dispose of this body and then feel little relieved of that atmosphere. But it is not really working like that even. So this is problem and other problems which are of the physical life. We have been sent in this world as human body to solve the problems. Other species of life are not entitled to solve the problems. They are to go through the problems and will go on life after life, life after life in the same or sometime more, sometime less. They will remain in that situation. There is no remedy for them. But for the human being, this life has been given very, very great boon that we are to find this way of life and begin to live, start the life from the very beginning, that we may be able to enjoy that life which has been fitted in us from the childhood. God, kingdom of God, and as soul, it's already in ourselves. We are never child, we are never weak, we are never born. It is always the same as we are now here in this world. But body is there, it is child, then it is innocent, then it is growing, it is becoming better, and after 20 years or 25 years, if it is not given proper attention and education, still it will create a problem. And whole of life it will go on suffering. Even if we are educated and we are trained in professions, still there are sufferings, although we will be able to improve to some extent. But soul is coming always full. complete and perfect. And if the soul of the child is awakened, it will at once begin to enjoy that perfection. When the children are given the sound experience, they find the sound and they enjoy it. It's not that they have to grow up and only then they will be able to find sound. No, it is already there and that they will enjoy it. So this way of life has been given to us and trusted to us from the very beginning so that we may begin to live as soul along with the body. This is the lifestyle of a human being. And that in Indian culture, especially from the olden times, the first 25 years of the child age has only been reserved for this purpose, that the parents should deal with the subject and further they should take the child to the master and initiated into sound and also light when it is better grown up. And this life, along with the physical life, is going along simultaneously. That the main life is not neglected, and this adjunctory life, which just little for some time, for some purpose, has been given to us, it is only taken care of. That is not the way. What is the main subject that we are not neglect, and what are only helping factors, they are to be taken care of, then these things will go wrong. Because we have not cared for our friend. We have not only cared for the dog of the friend. And what profit will be there that you are taking care of the dog of the friend? It is also okay that we have to take care of the dog of the friend also, because he is the dog of your friend. And he is connected to your friend. And your friend will be happy if you are taking care of the dog even. But if you neglect the friend, then it will be everything gone. You may go and serve his any dogs. But if you do not serve him and you are not connected to him, then everything is waste. So this is the thing that we are to take care of ourselves, our own our friendship. We are friendly to our own self. And then we have to take care of this as the top priority as per its value or its importance. And then next importance is there to our physical body, and other importance is also there to our family or some other relatives or friends or neighbors. According to the situation of relation to us and the connection to us, we are to go along. But first priority goes to the soul. And this is the main difficulty, that this ourselves as soul has been omitted, neglected. And all that supplying agency, all that comfort providing agency, all that life-giving agency, if it had been neglected, then where we are to find something to sustain, to live? There is no life, there is no power, and there is no wisdom, there is no knowledge, and that we have no competency, then what will be our life? Just like some wandering animals which are going along subject to chance winds, and that we have nothing of our own that we can manage for ourselves. We are going downgrade. My dear, this is the fate which we have created for ourselves, and that if we had adapted like that first 25 years or 20 years or something like that, that first we are to take care that our life of the soul is perfected, and then every problem is solved. Because if you are to work as a doctor, soul is doctor also. It is having every kind of knowledge, every kind of wisdom, every kind of perfection, every kind of arrangement. There is nothing that if you ask soul, I want this, it will say, okay, have it. Everything is yes. Ask and it shall be given unto you. You are not to go to any doctor, any relative, any friend, any engineer or anybody else in this world for anything, for vegetables, for any other help, any what you need, you want to go to India, okay, ask your soul, it will take you. It will be there, it will manifest over there. It has its power. So soul is competent to do everything and everything. And that life has been given to us by God, that my dear, find that life. You are not to educate yourself. If you are to become a doctor or engineer, you will have to spend 10 years, 20 years or more than even, and spend so much time. And we have to work hard and work hard till it's not necessary that you will really be qualified and you will avail the qualification. But this attainment of soul is already there, and God is also already there. Kingdom of God is already there. It is only your connection. That you have to develop this connection, and you are having everything. And in childhood it is much better, easier, because child is not very much tied to the worldly impressions. The mind is totally clean. And when it is directed towards God, there is nothing which is to pull it, the soul of the child or attention of the child backside. And that which is going on very, very, very hard, very, very hard with us. Because we are very much bound under the binding agencies of the mind, which are working from the negative power or evil. But child is safe from these things. And that only what is connected to him to go above, that is working, other things are not working. That is easy process. And that is also you would have seen that if any training or education is to be given to anybody, it should start from the childhood. When you are training the children in any direction, in any profession, they will be very much perfected and very easily and very quickly. If you feel like changing profession or training some person in some another trade after the age of 25 years or 30 years, then it is not possible, rather not impossible, but rather very hard at least. Because all what we have already put in that pot will have to be taken out, and it has to be filled with new stuff, and that will be very hard. That stuff which already has been put into the pot has taken its seat, very strong, very hard. And if you want to pull it out, it will not come out. It has taken its hold. If you have someone who is occupying your house as a tenant, if you want to drive him out, it is not possible easily. He will say no, and sometimes he will say, I am the owner, you are not the owner, you are nothing. And I am not to vacate this house, I will keep this house. Because I am long time living in this house, long time. I cannot vacate, I am firmly fitted into it. And you have no power to drive me out. I am more powerful than you. And then you are helpless. This is also the case with us, that all this negative power and mind, and which have taken possession of our heart, is no more living us. And we are not to adjust ourselves to God, our kingdom of God. They will keep ourselves controlled. And it is sometimes you find it is impossible to rise up and to attain our kingdom of God and to become one with God, or to only shine as soul. It becomes impossible for you due to the reason that we have not started our education at proper time. So these things we have to take care that what is our aim of life and where is our life, and that is this life which we are going on now is satisfactory? Is it okay? Is it worth living? Each moment tells you that something is wrong, something difficulty, something problem. Everywhere, at every moment there is some difficulty, there is some problem. It means that you are not in your own waters. You are not in your own self, where you can be in perfection, in your own peace, and there is nothing disturbance, nothing is there wrong anywhere, and you are enjoying your life just without any provision, without any hard work, without any arrangements. Everything is flowing from above into you, and you are only to enjoy whatever you like. And that has been given to the man by God, and masters had been sent by God from the very beginning, and he had been using those bodies of the masters as he spake to the mouth of his holy prophets, who have been since the world began. That, my dear child, my dear man, human being, don't suffer. I have made the arrangement. Avail those arrangements and enjoy. This is the arrangement of God. We cannot blame God that why He had sent us in this world or in this human body, and that we are suffering due to this. He will say, my dear, this body has been given to you, and you will have been sent in this world as God, that you are to enjoy as God, and then you are also to help all these other species of life, as you have got this competency to help them, and then if they have got no arrangement with them to help themselves, they are helpless. I have sent you as their hope. You are hope for them, and they are to come to you, and you are to take mercy upon them, and that you are to use your competency which I have given to you, the perfection which I have given to you, as I am able to create all wonderful situations in my own kingdom. This kingdom of evil has been given to you, that it may no more be a kingdom of evil. It is your kingdom. And what is your kingdom? It will be my kingdom. Because you will be connected to my will, and you will be doing my will. So my powers are there. I am there where you are. So there is no differentiation between you and me, and there is no differentiation also in the powers and competencies, that what you will be able to go along, and all that peace, all that satisfaction, all glory, all beauty, knowledge, light, life, and that perfect peace of perfection which I am enjoying, that you will also enjoy, and you will share with others. This is my idea. This is my basic principle for creating the human being in this world. And you are to understand it, and you have to work upon it, and the consequences, the results will automatically be there. That if you close the eyes, naturally you will find darkness. And that if you open your eyes, naturally if there is light, you will find a light, and you will be benefited by that light. So if you are not living the life of the soul, and God and kingdom of God, then you will lose not only that great, wonderful life and enjoyment and peace and all that blessings of perfection, but you will have to suffer in that state in which you are connected to, which is only source of suffering, problems, worries, diseases and death. And there is no moment in which we will be able to feel peaceful. And as your life will go on further and further, you will feel more and more down, more and more in problems, more and more in sufferings, till you are really immersed in this ocean of sufferings, just to suffer forever, never more to come up. However, I will still try again. I still have mercy for you. I still, at some time, will arrange that all this trick which has been successfully working upon you from the negative power is now that it can be little eliminated or shattered, and I can again catch you up, again hold you up, and will show you the way of myself. of your own self. And that will only be possible in human body. That again, at some time, I will be able to give the life of human being, and then you will be able to come to me and will end your suffering. So this is a place where we have to decide that if we are to be merciful to ourselves, or have sympathy with ourselves, or we love ourselves, then we are to work in that way in which we are to not suffer, but we are to enjoy. Then we can only say that I am merciful to somebody if I have been given, I have given some peace or satisfaction or some goodness, and have lead that person from some suffering. Then I can be called that I am the friend of somebody, I am father or some brother or sister or somebody. Otherwise, if I am only hurting some people, they will all be calling me their enemy, and they will be really having trouble from me. This is going on in our lifestyle, that we are suffering due to our own misunderstanding, that we have not accepted the commandments of the Master and the way of life which is given by God, by Master, handed over to us by Master and given by God, and that we are suffering it for ourselves, and also given the same kind of way to our dear ones to whom we love. And that is this way that we are loving to ourselves or sympathetic to ourselves, and also we have love or sympathy for any of our family member or relative or friend, if we are only causing suffering for ourselves and also for anybody else. That is really very, very hard, and should never be. It cannot. If you have little sense, little feeling what is good or what is bad, then we will at once say it is not my work, it is not my life. I am to be helpful to myself and helpful to everybody, at least to those who are related to me, and I have some loving relation and I am responsible for them. All are to be helped. But we have got no understanding, no feeling. We have no sense really. And we are driven by someone who has hypnotized us and taken away our consciousness, and he has put his own things in us, and he is driving us. As we drive sometimes the cattle, but still the cattle have their own sense. If we drive the cattle into some well, they will not jump into the well, because they still feel that this well, that my owner is pushing me into the well. I am not going into the well. But we will jump into the well, because we have not any sense that this well, I will be suffering in it, I will be caught in it, and it will be very, very hard for me, because this understanding has been taken away from us. What is good, what is bad, what is useful, and what is harmful, that has been taken away from us. Don't you want to come out of this? Should I not tell you that from this very, very treacherous game of native power, that you have to come out of it, and somebody offers you something which is really for you, he is for you, and everything will be changed, and you have to turn to him, and he is already extending his heart. Okay, my dear, my warm heart is warmly welcoming you, and my heart is my heart, so soft, so loving, so full of all peace, that as I feel myself to be in my peace, I will give the same peace to you. And I also, as do not suffer ever, and you will also not suffer ever. Anything lower from my heart I will not give you, because you are also my heart. I have made you. All other things which were not able to accommodate my heart, I have driven away from you, all your physical body, astral body, causal body, or other things which were not befitting in my heart. Those have already been taken away from you because these were not relating to you, not connected to you. You were totally separate from them. Your existence was totally no connection at all, no relation at all, totally foreign. And that you had been driven away, and that is a blessing for you. The biggest blessing is there, that you get rid of all these very, 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 very hard enemies. And that you have come to me, and I now have your friend. Friend your own self, as friendly as you love your own self. That friend who is there, your own self, and will love you as he loves his own self, even more than he loves his own self. He will love you because you are his own self and also his friend. These are two relations, his own self and also his best friend. He himself is only his own self. He is not his friend. So this is a better privilege which we are to enjoy in this relation which have been given to you by God and have been offered to you, handed over to you by the Master. And work upon it, work upon it. Don't face any difficulties or problems. And don't attend to it. If the mother finds the child, she goes on working on the child 15 years, 20 years. May it be very hard, may it be very difficult. She is very poor, she has very little with her to supply to the child and to maintain herself. But still, any ways and means, she will not eat herself, she will not wear herself, she will not avail anything for herself. But first she will go to the child. And if she lives, she eats something, she wears something only for the purpose that I may not die. And if I die, who will take care of the child? She is not living that I am to live for myself. She only feels like I live for my child and I have to maintain my body, my life, only for the sake of a child. And that child is to enjoy, and then I may die. Then I may be no more. This is what is our understanding should be there. That we are living as bodies, but only for our soul. If we have not been able to nourish our soul and make it fitted in God, then we have done something like a butcher for ourselves. We have killed ourselves. Baba Sahib Singh also used to tell in his discourses that someone who is meditating is really doing all mercy upon oneself. If someone is only indulged in worldly pursuits of life, one is killing, cutting his own neck with his own knife, then who can help him, or who he can blame, or who he can protect himself? He is a killer of his own self. This is really going on with our soul, that we are soul, and we are killing the soul, and we do not know. And this we are to know when we will be awakened as soul, then we are to live. So my dear, all this treat, I have tried to explain to you all this lifestyle, and some help has also been given to you. There are those people who had not sound, almost everybody had found sound. This connection of the Word of God. But this is now your lifestyle, that you are first to find inner connection, and then you are to take care of your body. My master also used to say that first the owner should be served by the servants. And when the owner is served and satisfied, what is left behind, servants are then to enjoy that or avail that. It is not that servants are to eat up whatever they like, what is available, and if there is something available or not available, then the owner is to be served or may not be served because there is nothing left behind. And only the servants have been satisfied. This should be the case. That who is the supplier, who is the giver of everything, is not given anything. And who have got nothing, have got something from the owner, they are only to go on enjoying. So everything, even our physical life which is going on, it only due to our soul. Otherwise there is no power in us that we can live or exist in this body, in this world. And we are not taking care of that agency. That is the biggest cruelty which we are going along. So try to now understand the way of life, how we are to live in this world, and how further generations are also to be put on the way of life. It is only little telling the way, okay, go this way. And they will go that way, it will be okay. As you have been told, that just close your eyes and attend upward, and you are there. There is nothing that we have to work very hard in some way, or it will take some long time, some big expenses are there, or some big help is needed. Without that, you cannot go anywhere. You are needing some aeroplanes, or cars, or buses, or trains, or something like that. You just go up, attend up, and you are going up. So simple, so easy, and so worthwhile. But still we are not attending to it. Then God says, what was possible, that it was made really available to you, really easily, and every kind of help which was needed have been given to you, and all guidance has also been given to you, and that what was the disturbing or distracting factors, also we have been given arrangement that you are to get rid of those by thought of the Master. Think of him, ask for help, and it's there. And since you are not attended to it, there is no reason that you are not going around enjoying this enjoyable life. There is no reason. It is just at hand. As the Master Christ did tell his disciples after connecting them to the kingdom of God, "Be ye, that kingdom of God is at hand." And what is difficulty in then enjoying it, finding it? If it is already at hand, that what is the best and what is easiest and surest that has been given to you. But if we still do not attend, then it is our fault. We cannot say that we have not killed ourselves. So we are our killers, we are our problem creators, everything suffering, etc. We are cause of it. We cannot blame anybody. We cannot blame even the evil or valley of death or any other agencies which are that we can say that they have created a problem for us. God says, if you are outside and it is snowing, then you are crying, I am dying of the snow, dying of this coldness. Why don't you enter inside? Why don't you enter inside? I have given you this very, very warm beds, warm rooms to enjoy over there. And that if this facility is available, then why don't we enter into that facility and enjoy it? So let it be this word is their valley of death, and evil is ruling with suffering, and all others will go on suffering. But you have been given insight, and inside, go there, enjoy there. Oh, that is not for you. What is for you, that has been given to you by the Master, as provided by God, and that is there for you to enjoy. So my dear, this lesson, this guideline which has been told to you, it is for you to adhere to it. Don't listen to anybody. When Lord Christ was told that your mother has come, your brothers have come, or your family members have come, he was telling, these are my brothers and sisters who do the will of God who is in holy heavens. That you are only to keep any relation or any friendship to those who are your co-travelers towards God. And that those who are taking you to other side, to slaughterhouse, you cannot say they are my family members or they are my relatives or friends. Because you should know that they are taking you to slaughterhouse. And that you have to be careful from them. So who is your friend? Who is saving you from all this cruelty and is taking you to some place where you are all wonderfully and safe and to enjoy? Can that not be called your friend or your relative or somebody who has sympathy and love for you? And those who are having only cruelty for you, death system only for you and suffering for you, can you call them your friends or relatives or family members? This is something which is going on as per control of united power, and that we are deluded and we are eluded. Now praise come out of this, and that my coming to you and just spending time with you, that may be of worthwhile. That if I have sown seeds somewhere and that after some time I have come back and they have grown, I will be really pleased that seeds I have sown are now sprouted and they are growing. And after some time more, again I come back, then they are all full of fruit, all eaten by nice wonderful fruit, and that all are enjoying. Then I will really believe that all that fruit which for this purpose they were helped or given some kind of help, now they are really enjoying that help and they are enjoying. And that will be to my satisfaction. So, seed of God which was there lying in all of you has been given awakening, and you are not now buried under the debris of the mind and matter and negative power, and the fires of the negative power, but fires have been taken away, and that water has been put into you, which is coming down as elixir to the holy sound, specially, but also available through the holy light. And go on nourishing this plant of your soul, which has been awakened, that it may become God. I and my Father are one. That should be your condition when you reach this destination in this life, so that you may be satisfied and other people may also be satisfied that there is a way of life which we can enjoy and we are not to suffer. This living example which is there is needed very much for the world, because the world, when you tell something to them, they will first look at you. If you are telling them that there is a medicine I have got with which you become very great, powerful wrestler, they will look at you. You are only skeleton. Why could not you make a so big, strong wrestler? Nobody will accept him, because he himself is nothing. And he teaches us that we will become everything. Why he did not himself become everything first? This is the thing, that when you will be in yourself wonderful, nice, then everybody will look at you and will feel that this person is having something special. I may ask him how he had become all special, nice, and still we are suffering. Is there also hope for us? Then they will come to you. Then we are not running after them. Now generally we are running after other people, and they sometimes accept, sometimes do not accept, because we have not practical lifestyle with ourselves. We are not shining. We are the same ugly as they are. When we will shine in our glory, then that glory will be attractive to them and they will come behind us. So this is a way which has been given to you. Have it practically. And I know there are so many difficulties and problems in this direction, but a will is there which is lacking in us. When we have to do some worldly work, we have to do it day and night, day and night, day and night. till it is not accomplished, we do not leave it in the way. But when we are meditating, we sit for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and it is not working, and we go, get up, okay, leave it. Because we have not really will for it. It's only something that I have to go to some kind of obligation to somebody. I am going to show somebody that I have meditated something. My master was asking somebody that, are you meditating also? Yes, I am meditating. How much time? About 10 to 15 minutes. Why do we waste this time? Mahatma replied, why do we waste this time of 10 or 20 minutes? Put it in your body work so that you find something out of it. Because in 10 or 20 minutes, your mind cannot be handled. Your mind cannot be prepared for meditation. You will just get up from the bed and again go to sleep. And what is the use of getting from the bed again going to sleep? That first mind should be really controlled, and that soul has got connection with in the holiness, and then it enjoys, and then you have meditated. And what is the time of meditation really? That when you have got conquest over the mind, and mind is no more running or wanders outside, and is connected, then that is there, you can say this is meditation. If I ask you that you have gone to your brother, have you been with him? You will say yes. How much time? You will say 1 hour, 2 hours. You do not add the time of going and coming to him. When I say how much time you have been with him, you will only say that time when you are with him face to face. All that time which was spent in coming and going was only some kind of auxiliary factor. So all this time which we are going on for connecting to God, and that mind is at rest, and we are enjoying the inner peace, that is really what we can say, that I have now found my Lord, and I spent some time with Him, and that is the time which I can count, which is now in my favor, that I found really connection and supply from that. But still, I don't say that you may not add your time, which is real, when you close the eyes and intend to meditate. When you intend to meditate, that also has its own value. But this little more understanding has given to you that real benefit will be only there when you really touch the object, that you are having everything supplied. When you going towards that, just direction towards that, something is coming, still flowing from that side. Due to our attraction, due to our feeling of receptivity, that I had to find something from that side. Some radiation will be coming to you, which will also be consoling you, your soul, and comforting your all system. That is also not going to waste. But the real thing, when what I say is that when you touch that subject, then it will really fill you with all blessings. That is really your destination, which you are to find, that you can say, I have meditated. And that if it is for 1 second even, you have found this kind of connection, that will be really much more than 4 or 5 hours of meditation, which is just ending only in trial, only in trying. So that connection is really so much paying, so much important, and so much useful. We have to keep that. That's why I tell you that you should try to meditate 4 or 5 hours or 6 hours, that is more than 3 hours at a time. Then your mind will reach at certain conclusion, and your soul will be able to reach the destination. And the retreats are also given to you in this way, that it is a continuous push towards the goal. That mind is constantly being washed away of all the negative impressions of the world, and the help to soul is continuously going on, and because the worldly factor is not working upon you over here, and that the godly factor is much more stronger. So that upper pull is much bigger and lower pull is much less, and resultant is that each day you are finding better and better. And maybe after 10 days or 20 days, you are feeling much better. When you go back, then find that your meditations are much more easier, comfortable and more successful, and mind is not so much disturbing, and that soul is easily going up, and that your life is also much easily going on, and everything is going on better. So such like special push-ups are available in such like retreats. I may or may not be there. If I am there, that's really good, much better. But if I am not there, but Master is always there, we are two or more than two, sitting in my remembrance, there I am. So that you can avail. So try to avail this kind of life. So you are not really going. You have got yourself embedded in the Master. And that was really my wish, that if I have accepted you and has reached you, why don't you attend to me? If I go to your house, go to your home, you will not come to me, you will not attend to me. If anybody go to your house, anybody, you will have to attend to that person who goes to his house, because he has come to you for some purpose. You cannot neglect him. If Master goes to your house, you will have to attend to him, and he is already there in you. But for the purpose, he has embedded himself in with your soul for some purpose, for your purpose, not for his purpose. Let it be his purpose also, that he wants to serve his children. He has relation to you. He has some purpose, but it is really your purpose. And if you attend to him, then you are not obliging him really, but it is useful for you, and he will also feel obliged to you, and then he will be able to help you and give more and more gifts to you. This is wonderful help and wonderful lifestyle, and we are not missing even 1 second. If we miss it, we are we have done a big loss. What was to be attained in that 1 second, now that 1 second will not come back, and that deficiency which we have gone through cannot be fulfilled, and that will remain always. So each moment we are to put in our efforts towards our lifestyle, and any moment which you put other side, it will take you towards death, towards destruction. Very hard, very horrible. So try to realize it and change your mind. It will be changed gradually, no doubt. But I think as you are here, you would have also found much better. And when you will go back, you find that the change that what we have got, but work upon more as before or more than before, so that what you have gained is not lost. That it goes on further and further, and then you will be able to enjoy the life. Okay, my dear, I think we may sit in meditation for some time. Otherwise, we have meditated so long. But it is never